Jamaica Emancipation. True emancipation is the ability for all Jamaicans to own a piece of the land before it's too expensive for the ordinary Jamaicans. This video is to demonstrate how to use the tourism industry to allow everyone to have a house in Jamaica. Because what is the point developing Jamaica if it is not being developed for the people of Jamaica? There is no point developing Jamaica for other people to come into the country and take us over. There are too much glorifications about the number of $1 million properties being built in Jamaica. The ordinary Jamaicans cannot afford the expensive properties being built in Jamaica today. Even the Jamaican middle classes, such as the teachers and nurses, are struggling to afford the majority of properties being built in Jamaica over the past decade or so. What Jamaica needs for its people are $50,000 houses and $100,000 houses. We need tens of thousands of these houses to be built each year in Jamaica. We need people on minimum wage to be able to afford a house. Then we need accessible jobs for these people in every parish across Jamaica. The only industry that can be scaled up to allow everyone in Jamaica to have a job from their late teens up to 60 years old is the tourism industry. An additional 300,000 Jamaicans could easily be employed in the tourism industry if Jamaica was to have the same visitor numbers per capita as Barbados, or many other Caribbean countries have. I've done several videos with the statistics to demonstrate that Jamaica would need 20 giga hotels resorts with 10 mega hotels on each resort of 1,000 rooms each. This would give Jamaica an extra 10 million visitors each year, and bring us in line with both Barbados and other Caribbean countries' visitor numbers per capita average. Many young adults in Jamaica would be willing to do 2 jobs if they need to, so as to pay for their houses. To the contrary, when some young people don't have a house, they work for a few months then give up, as they can't see what they are working for. This is particularly true for a lot of young men in Jamaica, when people don't have a stake in society and they are just working to pay their bills. They feel like they are not making any headways in life. That's why some gave up, as they cannot see what they are working for. Hence, the struggles of the lower working class needs to be addressed before it's too late. The ordinary Jamaicans on the streets are just sitting by and wondering what is happening around them. By the time they realized what is actually happening around them, they will be forced into a community project with ribbon cuttings and government ministers smiling. It's quite possible that Jamaicans today could become like Native Americans tomorrow. The current trajectory of falling birth rates in Jamaica, plus the people coming in to buy the US $1 houses, most of which are not the typical Jamaicans, though some may have ties to Jamaica. Then we have the Chinese workers coming into the country in droves. We also have the Indian workers coming in through the back doors, a plane load of which was exposed and sent back last year, etc. As a diaspora, I've worked alongside a lot of Indians and Chinese workers for many years. They are much better organized than us Caribbean people. They will survive and strive on a Jamaican minimum wage. There are millions of Indians and Chinese who will be willing to come to Jamaica and work for the current Jamaican minimum wage. If we allow 100,000 Indians and Chinese to come in and do the minimum wage work needed, they will come in and do it, then turn the current Jamaican population into their servants within 10 years. It's not that Jamaicans don't want to do the minimum wage jobs. In the case of the tourism industry, the problem is that the government is putting all the hotels in the same locations such as Montego Bay, Ocho Rios, and Negril, while there are hundreds of thousands of Jamaicans in other towns all across Jamaica who would welcome a hotel job. The Jamaican government just needs to think strategically about how they are developing Jamaica, and who are they developing Jamaica for. Then the government needs to think how to provide employment across Jamaica so that everyone can have a piece of Jamaica, everyone can have a house. Not just the middle-class Jamaicans, but also the lower working-class people, and the typical Jamaican on the streets. Adding an extra 10 million visitors to Jamaica each year over the next 10 years may seem like a lot, but that's just adding 1 million extra visitors each year. That's what the Dominican Republic and the Bahamas has been doing since the pandemic, adding 1 million extra visitors every year. Many Caribbean countries have doubled their pre-pandemic visitor numbers, while Jamaica has still not fully recovered their pre-pandemic numbers as at the end of 2024. Barbados' tourism industry has almost doubled in the past 5 years to 1.5 million visitors as at the end of 2024, while Jamaica's tourism industry has not grown in the last 8 years. Jamaica is at the stage now where we need to triple our tourism industry. Yes, you heard that correctly. Jamaica needs to triple its tourism industry from 4.3 million visitors to 13 million visitors to keep pace with the Caribbean average tourism visitor numbers according to our population size. Even after tripling Jamaica's tourism industry from 4.3 million visitors to 13 million visitors, Jamaica would still be 2 million visitors, short of matching Barbados visitor numbers according to our population size. This is because Jamaica's population of 2.8 million people is exactly 10 times the size of Barbados' population size of 280,000 people. Hence, for Jamaica to have the same number of tourists per capita as Barbados, Jamaica would need to have 10 times the number of tourists as Barbados have visiting each year, which is 10 times 1.5 million visitors that Jamaica would need each year. This would equate to 15 million visitors each year that Jamaica would need to compare with Barbados visitor numbers per capita. These types of comparisons will explain why the average Jamaican citizen is 3 times poorer than the average Barbadian citizen. It is because the number one industry in both countries is 3 times denser in Barbados than it is in Jamaica. In other words, 3 times more of Barbados citizens can be employed in their tourism industry as a percentage of their population than the case is in Jamaica. It is as simple as that. Thank you for watching another episode of my series titled Jamaica Needs 20 Giga Hotels Resorts to Match the Average Caribbean Tourism Visitor Numbers per Capita. 10 mega hotels of 1,000 rooms each to be built on each resort, totaling 200 new hotels to be built in Jamaica. Remember to let us know what you think about this video by leaving your comments below. Please keep your comments respectful. God bless you, God bless the Jamaican Parliament, and God bless Jamaica. Until my next video, peace.